Hi, I'm Sam, and in this video I want to explain you a bit more about the T-loop. The T-loop is a function that is sometimes on pinkTubes, sometimes on redTubes, and the cool thing about it, like the webbing, can basically be used for anything. It can be used in the park, it can be used for highlining, like it gives you all the options. But what can you do with the T-loop? First function is, for example, as a replacement for tapes, you can simply feed the backup through it, and you need one tape less, and for example in stormy condition this tape will never rip apart. But you can also use it in different ways. So now I have connected the backup with the main webbing with the T-loop, and here I use the 6mm quick link, and this is a girth hitch nut. And when you, for example, want to prevent the quick link from going into this position, then you can use a tape around here. For the choice of quick link, I either recommend 8mm or 6mm. It's your choice in the end. A bigger quick link offers more space for the nut. A smaller quick link is more lightweight and has the advantage that it can simply pass even in the worst position in the leash rings, at least in the SLACKTIVITY leash rings. A bigger quick link is too big to pass. For the choice of the nut, you can either have bulky nuts that are strong or smaller nuts that are weaker, like smaller nuts like the clove hitch or bulkier nuts like the figure 8. Also here it's just your choice which one you choose, and here's a list of different nuts with different SLACKTIVITY webbing that we have been testing recently. So here we have an example of a backup with a half marathon with an overhand nut. And be aware that this nut will basically never be loaded that way, but in the unlikely case of a mainline failure, the mainline failure will be, for example, here, and then the nut will be loaded this way. For taping this one, either you just leave this tape and you have to try around a bit because it's depending on the webbing but also on the size of the nut that you use, if this is already good enough for passing with a leash ring, or if you want to tape it really tight. For taping it really tight, you can put together like the webbing flat together and start taping like on a big surface around the nut, go over the quick link. Like this you should always be able to easily pass with the leash rings. So when you use the hangover to slide over a connection, first of all make sure to not just put the hangover into only one webbing. In normal setups it would just rip the tapes apart. Here you will have a sudden stop. So this is a certain danger that you should absolutely put the hangover into both webbings. Additionally, here there are the quick links. You can easily go over the quick link if you take a bit the force off the hangover, but it will not simply slide through. So always slow down before a connection comes. So when you're taping and you arrive at the T-loop, you should pull about 15% of additional backup webbing with the pinkTube. So 50% is about 2.5 meters additional on a distance of 16 meters. So I pull 2.5 meters additional, and here I can make the nut. With a redTube it's about 12% additional. So when you buy a redTube or pinkTube type B, you have 4 T-loops all over the line, and you can basically choose for every T-loop if you even want to use it, if you just want to feed a backup through, if you maybe also want to use it as a wind dampener, for example in a long line situation, or if you want to make a real connection with a nut. And yeah, you can choose for every loop on its own, and that makes it really a versatile thing. What's more, on the pinkTube type B is the end loops. So you have on one side just a single soon loop, and on the other side a double soon loop. If you want to use this double soon loop as a connector to the anchor point, make sure to use the first loop in the system and not the second one. This is just a backup loop. When connecting the webbing to the seahorse, it's best if the T-loop just comes out of the seahorse, because like this you will be able to tension the biggest possible distance out of the webbing, because the next T-loop will be far away from the anchor point. If you still end up with a T-loop being close to the seahorse and you need to pull it through, you can improvise a little pulley system. So for this you make a new fresh anchor point somewhere. I just use the old anchor point here, and I connect the loose end of the webbing. Then I build a 3-to-1 pulley system, and here I can either use more people, or when I'm alone I make a friction knot. So here I have the loose webbing now that I can put into the seahorse again. So now I do have the T-loop on the other side of the seahorse, and I can slowly release the friction knot here. Another cool feature of the T-loop is that you can use it as a replacement for your line grip when you once forget the line grip, if you just put it on the right place so it's quite close to the seahorse.